Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome on in. Today, we got a little something different, a little something special. Today, we're going to be going over my tier list. Now that we are on our final BR program, there are no more roster updates, no more new program cards, no additional things that are going to be happening within the ecosystem of BR. We are essentially done for the year, but that doesn't mean we stop there. I want to share with you my favorite cards at each position, and today we're going to be doing that with our gold cards. And maybe there's going to be a few sneaky picks in there that you might not have known about. That might give you the idea to try them. Now, these are all just my preference. So if you have any dispute with this at all, just leave a comment. Let me know who I missed on the list. Who do you think is better than who I say? This is the great thing about baseball here. We all have our preferences, but now let's get into it. First off, we're going to start with my favorite gold catchers. I mostly just want to talk about the top 5 at each position. There's some positions that deserve and have a deeper roster, that there's cards that I love, and we'll mention those too. But at least for this tier list, we're going to start with our top 5. So here we are with the top 5 gold catchers for Battle Royale and MLB The Show. I do want to give an honorable mention here to Austin Wells and Jason Castro, two of my favorite lefty cards. And I also love the update to Cal Raleigh and Salvi, of course. But coming in at number 5, Wilson Contreras, the live series card. Number 4 is my favorite true lefty, MJ Melendez. Number 3, I almost barely ever see this card in the draft because it's not a program card, but it's Joey Bart. And then our top 2, so I give him the number 2 spot to Yasmani Grandal, which basically leaves the top spot to one of my favorite catchers this year and last year, Yerman Mercedes, the Yerminator. This card is absolutely insane. I'm hitting over 500 with him. Great power, great contact. You can't go wrong with, honestly, with any of these 5. Here are my top 5 gold first basemen for Battle Royale. Just missing the cut were Nathaniel Lowe, Christian Walker, Brandon Drury, and Vladdy. Coming in at number 5, live series Rhys Hoskins, ton of power. Number 4, the smoothest swing in the game, Joe Mauer. Number 3, live series Anthony Rizzo. Number 2, my boy Justin Morneau. And coming in as I think probably the most well-rounded hitter, the big hurt Frank Thomas. First base, we don't have to worry about defense at all, so it's almost never a consideration. Moving on to my top 5 gold second baseman. Probably one of the weakest pools for gold cards here. So coming in at number 5, prospect card Nick Gonzalez. Number 4, Ozzie Albies, the switch hitter. Don't be taken back by his power. He's got a lot of pop. Number 3, prospect card Ezekiel Duran. Number 2, one of my favorite live series cards in the whole game, Trevor Story. In over 50 BR games, I'm hitting 500 with him. Absolutely love the card. Ton of power. Lot of speed, but he actually doesn't hold a candle to, I think, what is the best second baseman card, Jonathan Villar. And now let's move on to my top 5 gold shortstops in MLB The Show. Just missing out honorable mentions, Jeremy Pena, his Tops Now card, and Max Muncy. But my number 5, live series Bo Bichette. Number 4, he just got a finest, and I absolutely rake with him, hitting about 470, Willie Adames. Number 3, the left-handed hitting prospect Colson Montgomery. Number 2, Corey Seager. And my favorite shortstop, Dansby Swanson, live series. Absolute butter when he swings through the ball. Now let's move on to my favorite gold third basemen in MLB The Show. You get a lot of pop at the hot corner. Just missing out is our favorite left-handed hitter, Rake Lamb. That doesn't cut him short at all because we got a lot of great cards here. My number 5 is right-handed hitting Blaze Jordan. Number 4, give me that switch hitting power, the Tuna Man, Yazel Antuna. That's how you say his name. But there may be a little bias to this list. Number 3, I hit 474 with this man in 135 games. No doubt in my mind that I love Jose Miranda when I see him pop up. And if you think I loved Jose Miranda, number 2, Harmon Killebrew. 83 games, hitting 538. Don't think this is a Twins bias. These cards absolutely rake. And when I mean don't think there's a Twins bias, my number 1, Miguel Sano, who in 220 games I am hitting 502 with. This is not bias at all. These are absolutely insane numbers from gold cards. The top 3 are Twins, and I have no shame saying that. Moving on to the top 5 gold left fielders in MLB The Show. A lot of great power cards that just missed the cut. We got William Covey, Chris Davis, the new JD Martinez, but that brings us in to number 5, Cubs legend Billy Williams. Number 4, and I rarely come across him, but he's got a great swing, Seth Beer. Number 3, live series Kyle Schwarber, the Schwarbomb. You're not gonna miss with 125 power. Number 2, the man can play anywhere, and he's a switch hitter, Marwin Gonzalez. And my favorite left fielder is Jesse Winker. Don't be afraid of the power numbers. And now our top five gold center fielders to draft in MLB The Show. Center field is super deep. A lot of great cards like Brandon Marsh, Luis Matos, Adalis, the Kirk Gibson card. This is a solid top 10 in the first place. Number 5, the speedster Kenny Lofton. Don't be afraid of drafting this card. Number 4, the switch hitting Brian Reynolds. And in number 3, we got an even better switch hitter, Dylan Carlson. Number 2, I wish he wasn't on the White Sox, but I love this card, Louis Bob, Luis Robert. And my favorite center fielder to draft, Byron Buxton. It is not Twins bias. I am telling you, this card has hidden power. And even if you miss the PCI, you're gonna beat it out with the 99 speed. I am hitting 456 with this man in over 100 BR games. Absolute must draft. And this card defends better than even his all-star game card. Let's not talk about that card though. And our final position, the top 5 gold right fielders. There's some guys that he didn't even make the list that I love. Teo. They're outside the top 10. This is such a great position to draft for. Taylor Ward, Santander, Babe Ruth, Baez Pages, Sheffield. But that brings us to number 5, the man who's 6'7", James Wood. Number 4, don't be afraid of the power numbers, Larry Walker. One of my favorite swings in the game. Number 3, left-handed hitting Seth Brown. Number 4, the first BR program brought us this legend, Hunter Renfroe. But that brings us to our number 1 gold right fielder to draft, the switch hitting Ian Happ. What a great card. I know he's one of the favorites of the community too, so I absolutely love. Now let's move on to pitching. We're gonna split this off into lefties and righties just so you can kind of pick and choose who you like and who you want to draft, fill up that depth. Now let's start off with our top 5 gold left-handed relievers. And when I say there's top 5, and I mean there's only 5 gold left-handed relief pitchers. Number 5, AJ Minter, got a cutter, not too bad. Number 4, the hard throwing Jose Alvarado. Number 3, Tony Watson. A lot of people hate this card, but I like him, and that's why he bumps it up into number 3. Number 2, the card that was being used in ranked seasons for a long time, even as a gold, Brooks Raley. And my number 1 gold reliever, and he may be my best reliever in the whole game, the Minnesota legend Sam Hentges. Dude's got a 1.27 ERA in BR for me in 42 innings pitched. He is almost untouchable, and it actually kind of surprised me when I look at it. But when I see him in the draft, I am picking him every time. I don't care if I already have 6 other left-handed relievers in the pen. He is my ace. And now let's switch it to the other side. The top 5 gold right-handed relievers. And there's even some that, are off of the honorable mentions list, but some guys that I really like. Devin Williams, Adam Ottavino, Daniel Bard, Darren O'Day, the Lance Lynn program card, which don't sleep on him, and even some Yankees live series card. But my number 5 right-handed reliever is the hard-throwing Blake Trinan. Number 4, Twins legend with a cutter, Joan Duran. Number 3, Clay Holmes. Number 2, the Knight, Sir Anthony Dominguez. My favorite gold right-handed reliever is none other than John Schreiber. And he may only be an 80, but the man can shut down an inning. Now, I almost kind of want to skip this, but I'll actually give you a few starting pitchers because honestly, I don't really recommend using a starting pitcher slot for your golds. There's almost always better hitters, and at that point, if you have no other choice, it's probably better just to redraft. But I'll give you a few pitchers that I actually have drafted and I kind of like. So there'd be guys like Rizal, the starting pitcher card, Miles Michaelis, Lance McCullers Jr. is actually a really great card, glitchy release. Tarek Skubal is a pretty solid left-handed option because you can even bring him out of the pen if you're short lefties. And Lance Lynn isn't bad. A lot of these guys hits per 9 are so low, you're better off with hitters. And that does it. Those are our gold cards, and that's our tier list to wrap up MLB The Show 22 Battle Royale. So hopefully this will help you out when you're trying to get those flawlesses, and we wait until April next year when we get MLB The Show 23. Now, if you think something was egregious, you think there's a better player, please let me know in the comments, and I'll tell you how you're wrong. But if you liked the video, please don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button. Make sure the noti bell is on because we're going to be doing this with our silver and bronze card. Until next time, peace out.
Gouda.